This week, we're going to be diving into looking at how we can take a collection of ideas or a collection of thoughts or whatever that thing might be that you want to capture into an interactive website and quickly turn that into that. This was inspired. We had Steph Nally shared this book with Dr. Cooper, 50 Strategies for Integrating AI into the Classroom. It is filled with some really cool, practical ways that you can bring AI into learning experiences in meaningful ways. So, for this test, we're taking some of the big ideas from this and turning them into an interactive website using AI to help us kind of code that website in no time and make it accessible to people. So these are the steps. So you'll see here, I started off, I'm in Gemini right now, and it doesn't necessarily look like Gemini because it's got a lot of stuff going on here. But in this left side panel, I essentially gave Gemini an image of this particular book's table of contents, said, hey, we love the ideas from this book. We'd like to take those and turn those into an interactive website that we could then write our own custom Gemini instructions for so that people could view these as cards. You can see I even had it analyze and then go through and capture the main ideas from what it knows about some of Donnie Piercy's other work and turn those into just a quick card-like structure. I even provided a picture of what I would like the structure to look like. And then it dove in, and because I had the canvas feature selected when I was doing these prompts, it actually coded this out for us in this space right here. A key part of my instructions was that I said I wanted it to be able to be embedded into a Google Sites and viewable on the Google site without needing anything else to it. So when it's all said and done, this is what we ended up with. It created this interactive page. It's got a lot of these ideas. You can see it'll jump from trying to do some content knowledge. Maybe I'm interested in what this idea of remixing famous speeches would be like. Gives me a summary of it, gives me an idea for how I can get started with Google Gemini. Those were all instructions that I gave to the AI to code. So we're going to do one more quick demo from a new chat. Okay, for this test, I have asked Gemini, I told it I would like to create an interactive website that explores key celestial objects in our solar system, key facts about those objects, and it should accurately demonstrate how objects move in our solar system. Now, I'm going to add one more sentence to this. I need to be able to embed this into a Google site. So the reason I'm typing that separately, I want to really emphasize if you do that, it will know that it needs to be a forward-facing HTML-based website that you can easily just drop into a site and use. So I'm going to send that off and we'll pause our recording here, but you can kind of see because I selected the canvas mode at the bottom, it's going to give us a coding window that will also let us preview our results. And this is really, really important. So we'll pause right there. Okay, and that took about 45 seconds to code this website. You can see it has built an interactive experience for us. I'm in the preview mode now. If I wanted to go back and see what it actually coded, I can do that. Uh, we'll see how it works. When I click on an object, it's supposed to have a pop-up for me that gives me factual information, and it looks like it did that. Obviously, you'd want to check the accuracy of what you're getting. This looks pretty good, pretty accurate. And we can also change our scale. So realistic spacing. Let's see what that would look like here. Let's close out of this. Does it do anything? No, it doesn't. So this piece doesn't really look like it works. I could give it some feedback in here and say, hey, the realistic spacing scale doesn't work. I'm just giving it feedback and it's going to change. I'm going to pause again to let it see if it can fix that. Okay, and now that I gave it that realistic spacing, you can see when I click this, it's going to really blow out some of the spacing to be more accurate related to astronomical units. Kind of cool. And the visual spacing brings them in closer. So I've got some code now. How do I turn this into a site that I can share with my students? That's our next step. As you see here, I'm over in Google Sites now. When I click on the Pages option, there's a magical button that was added a little more than a year ago. So instead of just clicking New Page, you can click what is called Full Page Embed. And I'm going to click that, and then we'll just call this Space. Uh, I'm just going to call it Space, but obviously title that whatever you would like. And once you've done that, you'll see it adds a page here, and it's got an Add Embed section. When you click that Add Embed button, you're going to want to click the option that says Embed Code. And I'm just going to go back to Gemini here. I'll click on the Code button. I'll select all of that code and copy it by hitting Control C. And then I'm just going to paste that HTML code in, and it will give us a preview of this, and I'll insert that. So if you only want one interactive experience on your website, then you can simply right click these three dots, tell it to make that the home page, and then I'm going to delete the generic home page that it started with. And then once we do that, we just have to give our site a name. We'll just say solar system and hit publish. And once I've done that, I'll be able to take this publish site link. So view publish site here. And if I were to give this link to a kid, it would give whatever I coded or created out to them just as a web link. So really the possibilities for what you can do with some front end coding that drops into Google Sites is limitless. Our early example was we took 50 ideas from a book, summarized them, turned them into little cards, and quickly made a website. This is a kind of a different experience that we made that has pop-ups that teaches you about planets and all of that good stuff. And really, your creativity is the limit. You can give as much feedback as you want to Gemini until you get it the way you want it. Once you do, it's as simple as copying that code, dropping it into an embed page in Google Sites, and then publishing that page to take whatever you've created and make that a useful link. Hope this is super helpful. If you guys do anything fun with this, you have to let me know. I love seeing some of the creative things that people come up with. Have an amazing day.